Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A federal high court in Abuja has granted the request of the federal government for a secret trial of the alleged Nyanya bombing mastermind, Aminu Oguche. Now, this implies that the witnesses are allowed to give their testimonies using masks. Justice Ahmed Mohammed granted the motion filed by the prosecution to shield his witnesses from the public for security reasons. Although the lead counsel to the accused, Ahmed Raji, had earlier opposed the motion, he told journalists after the ruling that the defense will abide by the decision of the court.
What the court has granted the prosecution is that there can be a kind of a shield so that only lawyers can see the prosecution witnesses. We felt the earlier order granted is enough, but His Lordship felt otherwise, which is okay by us. And but all we are open for is for them to come and start the prosecution, because that is tomorrow, because the matter is adjourned till tomorrow. But it looks like the prosecution is not ready to kickstart this case for reasons best known to them. Let us see how it goes. Let us see the kind of a screen they are going to put there. Insofar as we can maintain eye contact with the witnesses and all counsel can see them, there is no problem. We go ahead, and the accused persons will also have the opportunity of looking at the witnesses. We do not think there will be any jeopardy, but we'll see how it goes.
Let's take a look at some politics now. Less than 48 hours after the protest at the All Progressives Congress Secretariat, the River State House of Assembly has suspended the caretaker committee chairman of Khana, Ahoda and Asaritoru local government area for alleged financial mismanagement. The Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Leo Kwane, who presided over the Assembly, insists that the House is not witch-hunting anyone. The House has also summoned 5 commissioners to appear before it to explain why workers and pensioners have not been paid for the past 6 months. Trouble began when scores of supporters of the APC in River State protested against the alleged imposition of candidates for the May the 23rd local government elections to be organized by the River State Independent Electoral Commission. The APC protesters, who were mainly drawn from Ahoda West and Obiapo local government areas, said some party bigwigs abused their positions to manipulate the local government party primaries.
As an arm of government, we are not out to witch hunt the executive, but we are out to straighten things. You are quite aware that the 7th Assembly is gradually coming to an end, but I want to tell you that it is better started than never. We have been seeing a lot of conflicting reports. The other day, the Commissioner for Information was on air saying that salaries have been paid up to March. So we feel very embarrassed as an arm of government. So we have called the House to sit today to look at all of these issues. And we have invited a lot of commissioners that will be appearing before us tomorrow 10 a.m. We have also gone ahead to suspend 3 caretaker chairmen, which we expect that they must be accountable, because these are all our responsibilities as constitutionally enshrined.
Well, it appears it's a season of crisis for the People's Democratic Party after the loss at the polls in the presidential election and in several states at governorship level. The Lagos State PDP chairmanship seat has become contentious as some members of the party's executives moved today to remove Captain Tunji Shelle as the chairman. The group, led by the party state secretary, says a disciplinary committee was set up to probe Mr. Shelle, which they say found him guilty of several offences, including misconduct and financial impropriety. The group then announced Mr. Owolabi Olonwoje as the acting chairman, but the action is met with swift reaction by Mr. Shelle, who said the action of the group lacks the backing of the national body. Our political correspondent Sheung Okimbaloye reports.
Monday morning, just few days after the party went to the tribunal to challenge the outcome of the polls, some members of the Lagos PDP executives converged on the party office. From the onset, the intentions for this meeting is not clear, as some members of the executives are obviously absent. The secretary of the party bells the cat.
As it stands today, retired Captain Shelle has been removed, impeached as our state chairman.
Shocking, but perhaps not unexpected. The group here gives reasons behind the decision to sack Captain Shelle as their leader.
The money received by the party was outsourced to a third party who keeps it in his own private account. The chairman is highly temperamental and dictatorial, even at meetings.
Not all members of the executives are present here, but the group reveals a list of signatories to the decision. Over 30 names are on the list, but for the spokesperson of the party, who is also not part of the removal plans, condemns the action.
Why would anybody want to suspend the man who in the history of PDP in Lagos State is high there as the only person who has defeated APC unprecedented? You cannot suspend a member of NEC by just going into the secretariat and pronouncing that it is null and void. It is offensive. It is preposterous.
The man in the eye of the storm, Captain Shelle, who reveals to Channels Television that it was at his own meeting of the party in Oyo State when the meeting was going on. Mr. Shelle says, "I'm not a controversial person. I believe in doing my best. I have the single opportunity to serve the party, and I have done my best. Jimmy Agbaje remains a credible candidate that I know, and my pedigree and integrity remains impeccable. Only the neck of a party has the powers to impeach me. Definitely not Owokoniro and Olonwoje. They have missed it because they failed to follow the party constitution. I remain the chairman." But for Mr. Owolabi Olonwoje, the action to sack Shelle is legal and stands.
You see, we will never do anything that is illegal. We follow the due process of the Constitution, and I have to assure you that I'm a founding member of this party and will never do anything that is against the Constitution of our great party. You see, what the Constitution actually says is that you set up a committee, a disciplinary commission, committee to check into the allegations and report back, and that's exactly what was done.
With a stalemate, the crack in the Lagos PDP is obvious and could be damning for the fortune of the party in the coming days. How the national body of the party will resolve this, even with its own share of crises, remains to be seen. Shiun Okimbaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
And staying with politics, this time in Kwara State, the governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, has approved the immediate dissolution of the State Executive Council. Also affected by this directive are special advisors, senior special assistants, liaison officers, and youth employment coordinators. A statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Isiaka Gold, says that all boards of government-owned companies, commissions, parastatals and organizations other than those of statutory status are also dissolved. Meanwhile, all commissioners have been advised to hand over government property in their custody to their permanent secretaries, while heads of other MDAs must hand over to the most senior officers in their establishment. The governor sends his sincere appreciation to all the affected political office holders for what he says is immeasurable contribution to the success of his administration in the last 4 years, and he wishes them well in their future endeavors. Well, freedom has come the way of 2 Nigerians believed to have been sold as maids in Kuwait. They were rescued by the Oyo State Police Command and reunited with their families in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital in Nigeria's southwest region. The Oyo State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Muhammad Katsina, says that an intelligence-based sting operation led to the rescue of the women.
The final stages of the operation begins from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Police in a convoy set up for the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos State, also in the southwest. From 6:30 p.m., the police has to wait until 10:30 p.m. when the Nigeria-bound aircraft, which took up from Kuwait through Istanbul in Turkey, finally taxis down in Lagos. These two ladies, Taiwo and Biola, set foot on home soil after an ordeal that will make even the hard-hearted cringe. They are back on Nigerian soil, but it takes them until 2 a.m. before they are in their home state or your state. Reuniting with their loved ones, however, has to go through a process of examination, profiling, and counseling.
We try to invite your people, reunite with your people.
The Oyo State Police Commissioner then comes up with the full picture. It was a search for the golden fleece, but rather than swim in bliss, wretchedness was what befell the hapless women.
The super architect of this ring is one Adelaja, who claimed to be a pastor, a dismissed senior manager of a bank, whose case is now being investigated in the EFCC. This gentleman and his gang established this fraudulent company in Nigeria with their web of agents in other parts of the country, especially Kuwait. He calls himself a travel agent, promising them of mouth-watering job opportunities.
The tale of misery, sadness, and woe continues. This lady had to clean a 3-story building of twin flats daily, in addition to washing and other chores. As soon as her chores are over in the morning, she gets locked up till her services are required later in the day. She had no access to phone, computers, television, newspapers, or any contact with her country, as she had been sold to them for the next 2 years. Her only meal each day comes from the leftover from the QAT's last meals.
Before I left Nigeria, I was told it was office work I would go and do in Kuwait. But on getting to Kuwait, it was a housemaid job. When I said that the stress is too much for me, I told him I want to come back to Nigeria. He said I have to pay the money he used to buy me back. And the money in Nigeria money is 350,000.
The second victim, despite counseling and a clean bill of health, feels hopeless. Taiwo is an HND holder in accountancy, a single parent and native of Ofa in Kwara State, but lives in Ibadan.
I just finished my NYSC on February, so I didn't have any job. That is why it pushed me. That's what has pushed me there to go and do the job.
This is the agent who brokered the QAT misadventure. He claims to be a pastor who doubles as a traveling agent. According to him, he was only trying to help.
One of them, which is Biola Daramola, was brought to me by our mother through a man called Honorable Chris, that I should help her to travel abroad. The second one is my church member. I assisted her without taking a dime from her.
From the victims' revelations, horror stories of maids stabbed and kept in the freezer for kinky obsessions, some thrown to the sea or dump site after they have been severely violated, and more horrible human rights abuses appear to be the order of the day for illegal immigrants in Kuwait. Experts say it is time the Nigerian government activate better diaspora relations and diplomatic maneuverings to bring Nigerians home from self-inflicted servitude.
No, I'm packing my bag. See, there's one and he's gone. The bullets are just dropping from the gun.
Remember this incident? That was the robbery attack on the Lekki Axis in March. A New Generation bank in Lekki was attacked, but information reaching us says 4 members of the gang had been arrested by operatives of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Lagos Command. A reliable source confirmed to our crime correspondent Bola Fraser that they were arrested in Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Osun and Delta State after a series of investigations that led the team within and outside the country. It was also gathered that 2 iPhones stolen from the scene of the robbery were recovered. Meanwhile, efforts are still on to arrest other members of the gang that killed 3 policemen and a female trader during their operation. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Kayode Aderanti, during an interview after the incident, promised that the command will ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. When the news at 10 returns, experts say downward slide of the stock market may linger until May the 29th. That's on Business News. Do join us again.